I'm Bill McBeath. I'm Chief Research Officer and co-founder of ChainLink Research. We've been around since 2002. But there's a whole other angle that doesn't get talked about that much, and that is the complex fulfillment scenarios for more complex products. So a good example might be heavy equipment. And if you think about heavy equipment, and it's not just constrained to complex products, but let's start there, okay? You think about something like a big mining truck. These are huge pieces of equipment, so they have to be, they're actually assembled at the mine because they're just too big to build and get underneath all the tunnels and bridges and stuff that are there. And you've got parts that may be coming in from different plants in different parts of the world. And this kind of relates back to the duty engineering we're talking about. You may also be making decisions about where to actually do the assembly and that sort of thing. But a lot of time you have you almost always have a lot of third parties involved in this. And so certainly the duty engineering is part of how do I make it profitable. But there are a lot of other considerations that need to be taken into account. And you're paying all of these third parties different things. And so there's a big opportunity when there's a complex fulfillment process with multiple third parties and multiple enterprises and potentially multiple tiers in the supply chain involved to get better visibility into those, better automation and control of factories and facilities that are not your own to make a more profitable operation. Part of that is the fact that different customers also want their fulfillment to be personalized for them. So you've got, there's of course the easy to relate to consumer example of a personalized tennis shoe, right? Mass personalization. But there's also in the B2B example, each of your customers may want things packaged differently, they may want it labeled differently, sent via a different carrier, they may want the sequence that the truck's loaded in has to be very exact. And if you have third parties doing that, how are you going to get all that information to the third party and get them to do it in a way that's very efficient? So that's part of what's driving this today. When we think about the profitable fulfillment, there are, besides the simple case of where do I ship from once I get an order, there are other use cases. So one of them might be pooling of inventory when that's not owned by you. So this is kind of an extension of the distributed order management case. So in traditional distributed order management, what you're trying to figure out is where is an item available in my stores or in my DCs. But if you're working with, say, a dealer channel, or you may have items that are in transit from your manufacturer, or you may actually have the manufacturer's has items that they're building on their line right now that could be available in time for this order. So you want to expand the scope of your distributed order management visibility and outside of your enterprise. And in some cases we've seen, let's take the dealer case where this could be a spare parts or it could be finished goods, but a dealer has their own inventory and they already do this today, which is if they don't have that, let's say it's a backhoe or whatever it is, then they start calling around to all the other dealers, right, to fulfill that. And a system that can help automate that and give you visibility into inventory across the multiple channels and the multiple types of inter-enterprise inventory can really help you then give a better pooling of inventory in those complex scenarios. When it comes to this broader view of profitable fulfillment, and this is where you've got multiple third parties, which could include your supplier, could even include the supplier's supplier, in terms of coordinating that whole stream of fulfillment activities, that having a network view and the ability for everybody to have a single version of the truth about what's happening and a fairly instant single version of the truth and the ability to just distribute controls and instructions and labeling, and have also have your carriers, because part of that might be, we want you to use this carrier for this kind of product to this customer, a different carrier for another one. Having all of those people on one network and connected together is a really important piece of the puzzle for real profitable fulfillment.